Red Flags of Emotional Repression Part 58, Sacrifice. If you've ever found yourself in a relationship, job, or situation in life where you thought, how did I get here? This isn't what I wanted, then you may have an unconscious compulsion to sacrifice yourself, which means you are likely in emotional repression. But how is emotional repression related to self-sacrifice? Good question, inquisitive citizen. Here's how. When we're kids, most of us attempt to get our needs met in one of two ways. One, by pushing down anger and being good, or two, by pushing down grief and sadness and being tough or strong. Either way, if we do this long enough, we begin to fool ourselves and others into believing that we are who we're pretending to be, right? This is the birth of the ego. There's an axiom that says when we bury what's true, childhood emotions, then we're forced to identify with something that's false. In this case, an egoic identity. For anger repressors, it would be, I'm a good person. For hurt repressors, I'm a strong person. And keep in mind, acting good or acting strong are almost always a child's attempt to get their unmet needs for love, approval, safety, and protection met. And so typically and frequently, this repressing of emotions and resultant compulsion to pretend or act in order to get what we want continues right into adulthood. The point at which that pretending and acting, which we could also call the ego, takes over is the point at which self-sacrifice becomes our modus operandi. We begin to have to be good if we're in anger repression, to do good things, even if we don't want to do them. And we begin to have to be tough if we're in hurt repression, to prove our strength, even at our own expense. Are you beginning to see how emotional repression actually is the compulsion to sacrifice half of who we are? It's a large part of why we have so many unconsciously angry priests and activists, and so many unconsciously hurt and sad politicians and police officers. Sacrifice, aka doing things you don't want to do or not doing things you do want to do, is the name of the game in emotional repression. Otherwise, we don't know who we are anymore, and we run the risk of not getting our childhood needs met. Now, this is where emotional repression inquiry comes in when all the sacrificing begins to be too much for us. Our work is the conscious deconstruction of identity in order to get back to those buried repressed emotions that are driving you to pretend and act. It's similar to what an alcoholic goes through in the 12 steps of recovery, but about 20 times as powerful. And instead of quitting drinking, our aim is to quit suffering. Because suffering and sacrificing ourselves is our addiction when we're emotionally repressed. So if you feel like you're martyring yourself and don't know why, or sacrificing yourself and living a lie, then that's your drug. And if you'd like to get clean and sober, tap the link in the caption or the bio.